Hey everybody, I'm Holsinger and welcome to another episode from holsingersflyshop.com. Today I'm tying a streamer pattern for you. It's a really cool streamer I found on another video. I can't remember who made it, but I found it from another guy. I was just looking for different patterns to tie and something different and stumbled across it, and it looked real cool and I thought it would work great in my area. So I tied a couple up. Haven't got to fish it yet, but it's a really cool pattern and I figured I'd share it with you. Anyhow, it's made from mallard feathers, and that's about it. So it's really neat in that effect too. So let's get into tying it here. I'm going to show you a picture of it and a material list. And don't be afraid to change the colors if you have. I'm tying it here with wood duck feathers and light olive, but don't be afraid to use natural mallard or, you know, whatever color you have. I think it'll change it up. Or don't be afraid to do like all natural mallard or all natural wood duck. It would make a nice looking fly, especially the natural mallard because it's a white color, almost a silver. It would give you a real natural mini color, but I like to combine the two colors because I think it just adds a little bit more depth to it and gives it a little bit more lifelike mottled look. So let's get into tying it here. Okay, here you can see the fly in the vise. It's a really cool looking fly, and when you get it wet, you know, it's going to taper out nice and give you that really nice minnow silhouette going through the water. So let's get into tying it here. There's only a couple materials that you need to tie it. That's one of the great things. We're going to use some mallard flank. I'm going to use light olive and wood duck colored and some crystal flash, set of eyes and a hook, and that's all that's in it. So let's get the hook in the vise here. For a hook, I am using a size 12 7/18 from Firehole. And I love these hooks. I use them for a lot of things, a lot of my stone flies. And I use a lot of streamers on them too. I just like the natural curve of it. Thread, I'm using some 70 Denier light olive. We're just going to wrap that on there, get it started. And I'm going to take it back to about the point of the hook, right above the point of the hook. Now, first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a mallard feather on. This is the wood duck colored mallard, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to strip out the point here. I'm going to, you can see there, I'm going to strip out and take a chunk out of the front. That's what I'm trying to say here. Now, okay, you can see how I take a V out of the feather. We're going to set this down on top. I'm going to pull the fluff off here so that's not getting in my way. I'm going to set this down on top of the hook. And I got way too much fibers on here. It's just going to get in my way. I'm going to peel them back. So, like I said, we're going to put this down on top of the hook and I'm going to tie it down. I'm going to tie it down kind of loosely so I can pull it back to where I want, but I want to keep it, maintain it on the top. There we go. And then I'm just going to wrap that back till I get the tail the length I want it, and then we're going to trim this off. Now I'm going to come underneath and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm going to take another feather, another wood duck feather. I'm going to cut that tip section out. I'm going to try to get back into some longer fibers. So I'm going to cut a good bit of that tip out. And then, again, we're going to pull off the fluff and some of those other ones there. And I'm going to come in underneath. And for me, with my rotary vise, the easiest way to do it is flip it upside down. And I'm going to put that V in between the hook. And then I'm just going to tie it down again. And I'm going to tie it down kind of loosely so I can pull it back out and get them to match. Get the top and the bottom feathers matching in length. Okay, once I get them matching in length, that gives me a nice tight tail there. And we're going to trim that off. Just going to smooth that out a little bit there. There I got a nice tight tail. I'm going to put one more feather on here just to give it just a touch of body. And I'm going to do the same thing. Pull that tip out. And then get some longer fibers here. There we go, like this. Okay. And then we're going to put this down on top again. And this is just to add just a little bit of extra body to it. And round it out a little bit. There you go. I like that. I like how I got that on there. Now you see how I got, whoops, there we go. I got the front end of it here open, and I got a nice tail made on this. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little crystal flash, which I just dropped, and we're going to put a little bit of flash into it. So I'm just going to put this on the side. I'm going to put two pieces on the side, and then I'm going to spin it around to the other side. And then once I get it wrapped down on each side, I'm going to pull it back over the sides there to get them straight down the sides like that. And then we're going to trim them off so they're the same length. And I want them the length of the fly. I don't want them going further. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a light olive mallard flank feather. And I'm going to do the same thing with it. Or not the same thing. I'm going to leave the point on this time. I'm going to strip all those fibers back. And I'm going to pull off the fluff. And we're going to tie it down by this tip here so we can palmer this up. And I'm not going to go the whole way back there. I want to get it a little bit closer to the head because I want to loose wrap this up and I want to end up close to the eye. Now I'm going to put my hackle pliers on here so it wraps up real nice and I have better control of it. Okay, and I'm going to lift up on this, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel the fibers back here with my fingers so we can palmer this up. Okay, and we're just going to keep making nice wraps and keep that flowing backwards. And I'm going to have kind of open wraps here because I want this all going back and I want to end up at the eye. Alright, so just keep wrapping this up to the eye. Careful not to twist that and get them all going the direction you want there. And once I get it up here, I'm just going to tie it off. Okay. Alright, now we're just going to wrap this back a little bit to clean that head up a little. Okay, and there you can see we got that nice body silhouette. You can take a dubbing brush or something and brush it out. You'll get it all the fibers where you want them. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit more flash to this. I'm going to put what was left over from the two pieces on there last time. Just going to give it a little bit of a lateral line effect to it. Don't go real heavy on your head here. You don't need to build up a whole lot. Okay, because I like things flashy, so there we go. And then I'm just going to make sure I get that all wrapped where I want. Clean up the head just a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to whip finish this off. Last thing we need to do is we're going to put some eyes on this. For eyes, I'm using Living Eyes, and these are 5mm wind. And I'm just going to use some UV glue to put them on. Here you can see they come in a sheet. I'm going to take some Solarez, some medium viscosity, and I'm going to put, you can take and kind of pinch these up just a hair to get that a little bit. You see how it gave it a little bit more body. I'm going to use a little bit of the Mallard to glue my eyes onto. Not so much on that thread, but a little bit back into the Mallard. So we're just going to put a little dab of glue on there. I'm going to take one of my eyes and try to get that pupil going forward. We're just going to set it on there where we want, hold it in place, and hit it with the light. Just going to give it a light tack to get it in place. And get it on the other side here, the side you can see better. It doesn't take a lot here, we're just tacking it in place. And you can do super glue if you like here to tack it into place. But the UV glue will help mold the size of the head that you want. Now when you get it here, you kind of want to look, make sure you got it lined up nice and straight and even with the other one. Okay, and there you see I got it right on that side. Now we're just going to come through with the glue here. I'm going to fill in the gap between the eyes and cover up the eyes. And I'll fill in the bottom gap too. And by running some glue over top of the eyes, it locks them in place and they're not going to come out of there. So cover up all the eyes and in between and you'll be good to go on this. And then before you glue it down, make sure you got all those fibers heading backwards. I like to pull back on it a little bit. I had a straggler on this side, which is still straggling, so I'm just going to trim that guy off there. You can see that wayward guy. But that's all that's to this. It's a great looking fly. Like I said, I'm going to trim this little one off that's gone a little haywire on me. And it's a cool looking fly. It looks good. I mean, I can't wait to swing it and get it in the water. Okay, I hope you like the fly as much as I did. I love the looks of this pattern. It's a really cool streamer. And I'll be swinging it this spring here. I say it all the time in my videos. Every spring we go up to Kettle Creek and fish. And Kettle Creek is a very large, wide freestone stream. I love to swing streamers up there and strip them and stuff because I can cover a ton of water with them. That's why I like to fish streamers in those kind of situations. So I'm going to be swinging it up there for sure, and I'll even swing it in my smaller streams too. But anyhow, change it up like I said in the beginning. Change up the colors, mix it up with just a natural mallard or wood duck, all wood duck, whatever you want to do. Have fun, play around, see what works best for you. That's the fun thing about tying. But anyhow, the material you need to tie it you can find at holsingersflyshop.com. So look us up on the web there. And as always, guys, head on over to our social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram and give us a like there. And while you're at it, give us a thumbs up on this video. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And as always, you can reach out to me at holsingersflyshop@gmail.com if you have any questions. So until next week, guys, keep tying, get your tight lines, and all that good stuff. I'm Sean Holsinger.